whistleblower name came out, said this as far as the process, said the behavior depicted in the emails doesn't appear to have significantly harmed the conduct of U.S. diplomacy, distracted from Mrs. Clinton's performance, or even given evidence available as being particularly frequent. It certainly doesn't seem enough to launch a criminal investigation. They add, as political scandal goes, this is middling at best.
Well, you know, that's just a naive point of view. Everyone knew policy and privilege and access was up for sale through the Clinton Foundation and by giving money directly to the Clintons during Mrs. Clinton's tenure. That's why Mr. Clinton's speaking fees skyrocketed while she was Secretary of State. That was money that went to their personal bottom line, and that's why the foundation greatly increased its activity. If they think politicians abroad didn't see this as an opportunity, either the Russians through the accessing our uranium market, the Saudis and others, they're just being naive. And there's material that we'll be releasing today showing even the Crown Prince of Bahrain went through the Clinton Foundation in order to obtain a meeting with Mrs. Clinton.
Why is that important?
Because the Crown Prince of Bahrain is essentially a foreign head of government. He couldn't get a meeting through official channels, and he had to go through the foundation's Doug Band to get a meeting with Mrs. Clinton, and he pledged $1 billion to the Clinton Foundation's global initiatives.
Your organization also appears in court today. What happens today?
Well, the FBI, as a result of pressure from, I think, our litigation and through their criminal investigation, has uncovered emails that Mrs. Clinton tried to hide from the American people, deleted, or otherwise they were able to obtain, and they turned those over to the State Department, and the State Department's looking at all those emails, and they promised to give them to us because we have FOIA requests, Freedom of Information Act requests pending, and we were just told on Friday there are at least 15,000 or so emails or documents that have been recovered, or documents that weren't turned over by Mrs. Clinton, at least. And so we're going to try to get those documents and see where they are, how quickly the government's willing to turn them over to us, and we'll discuss that at court today.
And is there any sense of the subject matter of these documents? Anything of particular interest to you?
Well, we don't know what they are. There are Clinton emails that haven't been looked at yet by the American people, by the State Department, and so they're going to have to evaluate them under the Freedom of Information Act and see what's releasable. And so the debate is going to be how quickly they're released. But it's a big number of documents on top. Just think, 30,000 or so were released initially by Mrs. Clinton. Mm-hmm. Now we're talking potentially at least 15,000 more emails being subject to review.
Judicial Watch is Tom Fitton of